Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Cynthia Keene and this is Keene Adventures. I missed last week's video because Tim and I were reviewing the NHR decision and deciding what we should do. There were a couple criteria to meet in order to get into the program before it ends in 2023, 2024, depending on how you look at it. And we just wanted to see what we could do with it. I just kind of wanted to highlight the different requirements that we saw in the various news articles regarding what was the criteria to meet the NHR deadlines. I believe there were 5 of them, and I'll list them here for anybody to review them. But the 5th one definitely said you had to start the process in 2023. And that wasn't clearly defined if that meant just the NIF number, obtaining a bank account, which we'd already done, if you needed an actual lease agreement in place, or if you needed the VSF appointments to prove that you were actually moving over. So we wanted to make sure we went with as much of the requirements as possible so we didn't have any questions, hopefully, when we actually go apply for the NHR regime, and hopefully we don't have any issues getting accepted. So wish us luck. You know, Tim's suggestion was that we look and see if we can find an earlier VFS appointment in San Francisco. I told him that was virtually impossible, and then I looked up potentially rescheduling our appointments, and surprisingly enough, there were quite a few in December when I looked it up. And so we were both able to reschedule our appointment for December the 22nd. One right after the other, one at 9 a.m. and one at 9:30. So now we have a December appointment for our VFS, for our first step for the application process. That's exciting, super exciting. And then it was also super chaotic after that, because then we realized we need a lease agreement, we need to finish our FBI fingerprinting, we need to make sure we get our insurances in place, and it kind of snowballed from there. So we looked on Americans and Friends in PT, the Facebook website, and I reached out to what I felt was a trusted real estate agent over there to see what we could do to potentially get a lease agreement in place for our appointment on December the 22nd. Luckily, they were able to help us. Oddly enough, it was easier than I thought it would be. We signed the lease agreement, we sent over the deposit, and we have a registration with the correct authority that we have a lease agreement in place starting February 1st. That happened so quickly, surprisingly. Next, we reached out to the insurance agent and told them when we were moving over there, and they said, no problem, go ahead and just send us over the deposit for this amount, and we'll issue you a policy for 365 days for the travel insurance that's required. That was so easy. I was shocked. The next step, on Saturday, Tim and I went over to the UPS store to get our fingerprints taken for the FBI live scan that we needed to have done. That was the only hiccup we've had so far. The lady that was doing it didn't know what the TCN number was, and apparently it's a number that they have from their side, so she wasn't able to complete the process. We are going back there this afternoon to finish the process. She's got the information now, so we should have our fingerprints done by the end of the day. We just need to get the white envelope that we have to keep unsealed so that we can turn it into the VSF appointment on December the 22nd. I'm sure I'm forgetting a few things, but it's gone so quickly. This past week has just been a whirlwind of trying to get all the documentation together, getting ready to potentially move sooner than we expected. I don't know if we'll actually move February 1st, but that's when our lease agreement starts. We do have a flight over there anyway, starting January the 18th, that we are going to use for our house hunting trips, so maybe we'll just stay longer. I don't know. We haven't quite gotten to that point to discuss that yet, but wow, so much has happened. I had another real estate lady out to look at the house. She was extremely optimistic about its ability to sell very quickly. and the price range that we were looking at. So that was very encouraging. So off the top of my head, a few more things that we need to get done. We need to finish the personal statement to complete with our VSF appointment, and we need to figure out NALA. That's something I have not forgotten about, and that's something Tim and I really need to discuss. But that's going to have to be something we discuss a little bit later. It depends on when exactly we decide to make the move over there. If it is going to be January the 18th, it's going to be really tight to get her appointment in, and shouldn't be an issue getting her flight. It just would be an issue getting her appointment in to get her documentation so that she can leave. If we decide not to stay over there, depending on when our second appointment is in Portugal, because you can only leave the country once, or if we can't get our passports back in time with the stamped visa approval for the January 18th date that we're moving over there, then we would want to come back, but I'm not so sure we want to leave Nala over there alone. So that's something Tim and I really have to look at and discuss and figure out what we do with Nala. Just another thought, just another little concern we have, and something we'll need to work out. So I think we might make it. I think we might make it underneath the NHR deadlines. I think we might be able to do this. I'm super excited. I'm super nervous, and I can't believe how quickly this is going. I'll keep you updated as everything moves forward. Thanks for watching.
Okay, let's go.